Hi, Isabella. Thank you so much for coming back in today. And before we get started, I want to check in on our confidentiality agreement from before. Everything we discuss stays between us with the same exceptions we talked about. If I ever have a concern about your safety or someone else's safety, I'm required to act on that. Does that still make sense to you?
Yes, that makes sense.
All right, so great. So today I want to spend some time checking in on how you've been doing overall and then talk through a plan together for what to do if things ever feel like too much. So this is really about making sure that you have the support in place and not assuming anything is wrong right now. You're in control of this conversation. So if any questions arise, feel free to let me know if it feels like too much. You could just tell me and we'll slow down. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds okay.
All right. Alrighty. So how have things been since we last talked? Any changes with the anxiety or with the drinking that we've been keeping an eye on?
Honestly, it's been a rough week. Work has been really overwhelming, and I've noticed I've been having a drink most nights now, not just some nights.
All right. So thank you so much for telling me that and being honest. I know that it's not always easy to say it out loud, and it sounds like the stress has really been piling up on you lately.
Yeah, it's just been a lot.
Yeah, so I do want to check in more closely on how you're doing right now in this moment. How would you describe your mood today?
Tired, anxious, I guess, like I can't really turn my brain off.
Okay. All right, so that does sound exhausting and carrying that around all the time. How has your sleep been?
Not great. I keep waking up around 3 a.m. with my mind racing.
Okay. And how about eating? Has your appetite changed at all?
A little. I've been forgetting to eat some days, honestly.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you walking me through all of that. And I'm noticing that you seem a little bit more tense today than usual. And that tracks with everything that you're describing. Does that feel accurate to you?
Yeah, I think I've just been holding a lot of tension in my shoulders lately.
Okay. All right, Isabella. And given everything that you've been carrying lately, the stress, the anxiety, the changes in sleep, I want to ask you some questions I ask everyone in this situation. And not because I think that something is wrong, but because it's important for me to check in on this directly. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And have you at any point in the past month wished you were dead or wish you could go to sleep and not wake up?
Honestly, yeah, sometimes not like planning anything, just some nights it feels like it would be a relief to just not have to deal with everything for a while.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for telling me that. And that takes courage to say out loud. I want you to know that I'm not going to react with alarm. And I just want to understand what you're going through. So, have you actually had any thoughts about killing yourself?
No, no, it's never gotten there. It's more just wanting a break from everything, not wanting to not exist.
Okay. All right. So that's a really important distinction. And I appreciate you being so clear with me about it. And since it hasn't gone further than just the wish to escape, I don't need to ask you about a plan, but I do want to ask, have you ever at any point in your life done anything, started to do anything, or prepared to do anything to try to end your life?
No, never.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Isabella, for being so open with me through all of that. And what you're describing, that passive wish to escape from how overwhelmed you're feeling, is something that we take serious. And I'm glad you told me because it means that we can build support around it now before it becomes something heavier.
That actually makes me feel a little better saying it out loud.
All right. All right. Well, I'm glad, and I'd like for us to build a plan around that together. Not because you're in a crisis right now, but so you have something concrete in place if things begin to feel heavier than they do today. That way it exists before you need it. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I like that idea.
All right. All right. So let's start with warning signs. Does it usually feel like right before a hard day? Sorry, what does it usually feel like right before a hard day hits, physically, behaviorally, and emotionally?
Physically, my heart starts racing and I get headaches. Behavior wise, I start avoiding things, I procrastinate. I've been drinking more. Emotionally, I just feel overwhelmed, irritable, like I might cry over nothing.
Okay. So that's really useful. Recognizing those signs early on can help us catch things before they build up. Now, when you're in that place, what helps you cope on your own, even just a little?
Going for a walk helps, journaling sometimes. I've actually been wanting to try that breathing technique we talked about last time.
Okay. All right. I love that you're already thinking of tools that work for you. So let's write those down. So we have walking, journaling, and breathing practice. Now, who are the people you'd want to reach out to if things felt like too much?
My sister, Maria, definitely. She's always been there for me, and honestly, maybe Pastor James from before, even though things have been strained, I think he'd still pick up the phone.
All right. So those both sound like very strong options. Let's put Maria as your primary contact and Pastor James as a second option. And professionally, would it be helpful to have a therapist's name on this plan too, in case you ever want more consistent support?
Yeah, I think that would help.
Okay. All right. So I can help connect you with someone. We'll add to your plan along with the crisis line and 911 for anything urgent. Now, let's think about your environment. Is there anything at home that could be a risk if you were ever in a really dark moment? And is there a space that feels safe to you?
No firearms or anything like that at home. My bedroom feels safe, honestly, or I could go to Maria's.
Okay, all right, good. So let's write that down as well. All righty. And the last piece, if you are ever feeling like you wish to escape, your wish to escape is getting stronger, what would the very first step be?
Probably call her Maria first. And if I couldn't reach her, go into my room or over to hers.
Okay. All right. So that sounds like a really solid plan. And if it ever felt like an emergency, like you were in immediate danger, the plan is to call 911 or to go to the nearest emergency room. Does all of that feel like something you could actually commit to using?
Yeah, I think having it written down actually makes it feel more manageable.
All right. All right, Isabella, I am really proud of you. And I'm really proud of your honesty and the work that you've brought here today. So this plan is yours and we can adjust it anytime as things change. All right. And before we wrap things up, I do want to check in again on how you're feeling right now after everything that we've talked about.
Lighter, actually. I was nervous to bring up some of this, but I'm glad I did.
All righty. Well, I am really glad you did too. And I want to reassure you that you did nothing wrong by feeling this way. And reaching out is the exact right move. All right. So, what we'll do, we'll just keep checking in on all of this, including the drinking, every time we meet. And I hope you take care of yourself, Isabella, and remember that you can reach out anytime before our next session if you need to.
Thank you. I will.
All righty. Well, you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.